Sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defoe, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a rare home edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, coming to you live today from the respective man caves of one Mike Lubie Lubitz up in Coral Springs, myself in Dania Beach, and we have, that is not Jeff Defoe DeForest, that is not a chia pet either, but a man with growing hair all over his head and face. And it's so unusual because for the longest time he was known for his very slick bald pate. Chris Perkins, welcome back to the Lunchbox, buddy. It's been a while. I hear you up and stomping around in the 954 over the weekend watching some Panthers hockey. Is this true?
Yeah, man. I was up there, watched the Panthers, and I can't wait for Wednesday, baby. The game one of Panthers and Rangers. That's going to be lit. I mean, that's like, tickets. Come on, baby. Let's do that.
You know, when the series was finally set and they both won their game threes on the road, and in the excitement of it all, because, you know, I grew up a New York Rangers, Broadway blues fan. I sat in the blues section of the Garden a long, many times. And I'm a Panthers fan. And I was saying, pay any price. And then I went on to whatever they call that site, not StubHub, but the one that the Panthers have. But I saw that like the cheap seats were going for $380 each, and the row 14 down on the ice level was going for the slick price of something like I don't know, was it $2,700, $3,200 a ticket? So I quickly rescinded my pay any price and figure maybe I'll just go to shenanigans, because exactly. $2,000 buys a spitload of beer. So
there you go. Yeah, and that's just these are just the early games. I mean, consider the prices for games 6 and 7. I mean, especially if there's a game 7, that's going to be insane.
Yeah, and look, it's great. SeatGeek is the name of the app that the official Panthers tickets are swapped on, and also I think they were selling a limited number of playoff tickets starting Saturday, but I'm sure those were gobbled up by the bots in a minute. But no, this is fantastic. I mean, unfortunately the Heat did not make it through, but the Knicks didn't make it through, so there's no joy in terms of double trouble. Dallas is the only one having the double fun with both the NHL team still alive in the conference finals, the Dallas Stars, and they're going to be playing. I guess it remains to be seen tonight. Is that
today?
Right? Yeah, Game 7, Vancouver and Edmonton, and then of course we got the Dallas Mavs that are going to be going off in the conference finals against the surprising Minnesota Timberwolves. And that's finally we got some good, exciting basketball games. Only one out of two of them was really exciting. But I'm talking a lot, Perk. You're the sports guy. You're the Dolphins writer for the Sun Sentinel. You're the also longtime basketball writer
for years.
So and with apologies again, Defoe says I should never apologize, never explain, but we are going sports heavy because it is playoff season, and with one of our teams in the Final Four in hockey, it's exciting, right?
Yeah. So here's what we need to do, Mayo and Lubie. We need to unite these worlds. Every Panthers Rangers game, we need to come up with an appropriate food and drink combination, right? we could make it of the home team, and we could have like maybe some kind of a drink for one of the players, a punch maybe for some kind of rum punch or some kind of we got to sponsor this thing at every game. Meal and drink sponsorship.
Well, we do have people who are always complaining about, you can't find pizza or a bagel like you find in New York. But the bottom line is you can. And people who have made this the sixth borough in South Florida, I'm just curious to see, you say, depending on who the home team is. I'm just wondering, with so many of the Ranger fans down here and probably swarming down here, that Oh, the Rangers guys basically going to have 7 home games because there might be more in the crowd. I know that I've gone to some Ranger Panther games in the past couple of regular seasons, and I swear, like I think one was on a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and the building seemed to be either 50-50 split or maybe a little bit tilted towards the New Yorkers. So I don't know if that's. Do you think that's going to change for the playoffs?
Here's an interesting point. What is the responsibility of the home fan? Like, I mean, if somebody makes you a ridiculous offer, or if the seats are going for a crazy price, are you obligated to keep them and keep the Rangers fans out of your building, or do you go to the highest bidder and say,
I would sell out to
along? I paid for these, and so now somebody else is going to pay.
I would sell out to those Wall Street buffoons if they're willing to like pay $3,000 a ticket. That's all theirs. You know, that'll pay for my homeowner's insurance for maybe 6 months. So
that's right.
Now you know what, Lubie. Well, you're not torn at all because you're a South Floridian and you're a Panthers fan. Me, 100%. I'm a little bit torn because I'm a long-suffering Rangers fan. I did see them get to win the Stanley Cup in 1994, the glorious year. But it's been 30 years since, and they've been wandering in the desert. And lo and behold, they run into the Panthers now, and it's going to be a great series. I think it's going to be a long series. We've got 2 hot goaltenders, a lot of balanced offense, and hockey comes down to this. Whoever gets the freaking, luck of the bounce of this, it all comes down to a screen or a puck standing on its end, and it takes a weird flutterball effect.
In 5 and 6, the Panthers barraged Swayman with shots and couldn't get it in the net. And with a minute and a half left, literally Swayman had the entire angle. Like, there was literally no way that puck should have. Yeah. Like, literally, it was like his hip. I guess there was a little gap between his hip and the post, and that's literally where the puck went. That's hockey. So to me, this series is as even as any series can be. The Rangers just edged the Panthers for the number 1 seed. That's why they'll have home ice. But as we've seen, the Panthers were better on the road in the last series than they were at home, to be honest. So I think it's going to be a war, and I think it's going to be a really fun series. And the last 5 years, the Panthers have been good enough that they finally, I think, built a nice fan base. Like, when you watch Panther games, they're not empty. They're not papering the house anymore. The playoffs have been raucous. Boston has a nice presence down here, and it wasn't even close. It was like 80-20 Panther fans. So this will be a lot closer. I still think it'll be a Panther lean, and I think if they play the way we've seen them play, I think you'll get the Panther fan involved because they've been very physical. They've gotten after it, and Bobrovsky has been fantastic. And look, we know what hockey playoffs are: goaltending. The goalie can literally carry you to a cup. And both these goalies have done that. And the way Bobrovsky has played is the kind of thing that gets a fan base involved, I feel like.
Yeah, you know what? I was in a bar for Game 6 of the Bruins and Panthers, and that the momentum is just building. I wasn't here in '96. I moved here in '97, so I wasn't here for the year of the rat. But maybe you guys can tell me what the feeling is now compared to back then. But I feel the momentum building around the area, and especially the further north you go into Broward and Palm. It's just like it's almost tangible, right? Like you can
now you're feeling it. Yeah, now that it's gotten to this point. Look, this has been a pretty decent team for the last few years that have sometimes fallen short of expectations in the playoffs, but now the last season going in as an 8 seed and making it to the finals, and now it seems like they have the requisite experience. They have the great balance in players. Barkov is playing lights out. Last year, he was kind of MIA for a bit. Look at me. I'm like actually talking about different players and getting into specifics.
Look, 96 was insane. 96, I'm trying to think of anything else that was like it down here.
I was here and I covered that as a sports writer. And I got to tell you, and this was back in the old pink elephant of the Miami arena, but you had a lot of people from the 954 and 561 would travel down 95 and go to that arena, along with some people from the 305 were there. And it just had that Cinderella story, third season of existence, the whole rats thing that started earlier in the season when I guess it was Mellenby scored the rat trick, which was killing a rat that was in the locker room before the game and then scoring 2 goals. And that just took on a life of its own. It was so much fun. I've never been around a more fun team. This one has some expectations on it. And I am okay. So long-winded, but going back to what I was saying earlier, I grew up a Rangers fan, but I'm rooting for the Panthers this series. I mean, for me, it's a win-win. But it's very simple. The Panthers have never won a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
And the Rangers have. So I'm rooting for my adoptive hometown. Despite Doug Sifu, I still hate him. All right. Hate is a strong word, but I got into a Twitter war with him when I was the Metro columnist because I was disparaging their efforts to extract and extort more public money for their silly scoreboard, even though they've already wrung 99.9% of the revenues out of the arena. And it's my whole shtick about I'm sick of corporate welfare for billionaires and millionaires. And Doug Sifu basically did the old, oh, you're not entitled to have an opinion because you're not a businessman and you've never made a payroll in your life. Well, you know what? F you, Sifu, because I'm a guy with a brain and a college degree, and I'm allowed to have an opinion. In fact, that's what I was paid to do, was have an opinion when I was a sports columnist. So despite that antipathy towards some of the people at the top, and let's not forget, Vinny Viola, the team owner, actually served in the first Trump administration. But we don't want to get into all that. No, he didn't serve, or he had to step down.
Turned it down. I don't think he took it.
Turned it down because of something in his, well, whatever. You know what? We don't get political here. We only talk about personal grudges and vendettas. But I'm a big fan of this team as a hockey team. I just think they're fun to watch, and they find a way to win. And they pulled that one, out in Boston, and that was pretty crucial. So go Panthers. That's all I got to say. Where'd you watch the game on Friday with our former colleague? Did any place fun, or was it just a lot of drinking?
It was a lot of drinking. It was a little bar called Streeters up in off near Oakland Park, a very small neighborhood spot. Duyos is one of his regular spots, so I think it is his regular spot because he knew everybody in there.
Nice.
So throwing darts and drinking and watching the game, man.
Our former photography colleague Rob Duyos, who's had some health issues through the years. I hope he's doing okay. And,
cancer free now.
And I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I had a busy weekend. And now I guess we can get into some of the, congratulations to my beautiful, smart, talented daughter, Natalia.
How'd the party go? Was you at the party before the graduation?
Yeah. So, because everybody's schedule is crowded, I guess, I don't know if it was bad luck or not, but everything went fine with the graduation. She actually got a diploma. There was no last minute fines or penalties or any money that I owed to the school. So thank goodness for that. But proud graduate now of American Heritage. And she marched yesterday. The ceremonies were yesterday, but we had the party on Saturday. And I see somebody who's looking for pictures. Sorry, folks. I can't post pictures on the Let's Eat group of my first of all, there's no people pictures allowed.
But you have a Mike Mayo's Lunchbox page.
I do. You know what? I could put it on the Mike Mayo's. Thank you. I had it on my personal page, but the food I could certainly post. It was a great roundup of sponsors and also some non-sponsors, and also Michelle did some cooking, and Michelle and Val finally met, and that all went good.
Nice. Wow. You buried the lead there.
That's been a big one. They've been together like a year, and the two haven't met yet.
Yeah,
so made it happen.
Everything went very, very nicely all weekend long. And again, Natalia and I were going to be heading up to Florida State for freshman orientation this week. So we're going to have a couple of encore presentations, and that's going to be fun. But so Saturday at the party, first of all, it turned into a pool party because it was so blazing hot. And but we had a bunch of Michelle's family in from Ohio. I had some, again, all the stuff that was displayed on our show at Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market last week. I had some at the party, and saw Gene, and of course, basically got in there on Saturday morning and got some of the great cocktail shrimp and made a big platter of shrimp cocktail. We had some of that great buffalo chicken dip, and we had some of their broasted chicken and fish dip. So like all the things, all of those went over big. Then we got some pizzas from one of my local pizza parlors. And then we got, Michelle made some, she got some penne alla vodka, and
Nice.
She made that herself because considerable savings than buying a pan at some of the local restaurants. And then, of course, no party is complete without a trip to Publix. We got actually surprisingly good. Besides the wings that are always a hit from Publix, but we also got the sandwich platter that was Cuban sandwiches, like mini Cuban
Really? They do
sandwiches all
Cuban
cut up,
sandwich platter. I didn't know.
and they were pretty good. And then we also got a cake, and the cake from Publix.
Well, their baked goods are good. They do a good job with
They
cakes.
they actually made a really beautiful graduation cake, and it was a kind of mix of chocolate and white cake inside, and yeah, very very moist, very good. They spelled Natalia right, so I got nothing to bitch about. I can't go on Let's Eat because I've seen some cake atrocities from Publix that people have posted through the years. I should kind of pay them a compliment because it was beautiful. But anyway, yeah, it was a nice party. And yeah, a good time was had by all. I didn't get too drunk. And, but have you been doing any good eating in the 305 there, Perk? What's been on your plate in terms of food, or you just been busy covering free agency Dolphin nonsense and eating stale hot dogs in the press facility there?
There has been some good food. I went to this pizza place called Blossom down on Miami Beach, Blozzom,
Mhm.
and it's Roman style, and it's kind of pan pizza, and so they serve it by the pound, or they weigh it. It's by weight, and so they'll have the pizza in the pan. And you'll tell them, I want the mushroom, or I want the potato pizza or whatever. And they take some scissors and they'll cut off a strip of it, and then they'll weigh it, and then they cut it in these little squares for you, and that's how you eat it. And it's great to share. But yeah, really good pizza, man. Right on Miami Beach, around 74th or 75th Street, and Collins on Miami Beach. So that's a good place. I've been
I like
been there a
that.
couple of
I
times.
like that North Beach area. That's near where you are,
Right.
and that's a little bit less insane than South Beach. And
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of good shops and restaurants along that Collins and the low 70s strip around there. So
Yeah. The whole area is growing.
did you ever go to that Silver Lake? Was it called Silver Lake Beach?
No. I know you went there with
Yeah,
with
with the Stalkers.
the stalkers. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They loved
because for the future edition, that's actually coming up in a couple of weeks of the Check Please South Florida, the Michelle Bernstein show. My edition will be coming up. I think it's June, whatever that first Monday in June is, June 3rd.
Yeah.
And one of the restaurants is that Silver Lake Bistro that I'd never been to, and I really liked the vibe there. Some of the dishes, look, it was kind of mixed bag in terms of the food. Some of the dishes I liked a lot more than others, but the standout star of that place is that burger. They have a burger there that has like a special meat blend and some good cheese and sauce, and I highly recommend that as one of the better burgers around town, especially since it's National Burger Month. Oh, speaking of burgers, Lubie, how was yesterday? You were the man about town, right?
I was gonna say, speaking of burgers, actually, I went to. It was their closing party, even though we still have like 11 days left in the month.
No, it's just a party still in the middle of 954
It was
Burger
like
Month.
described on their website as something like that, and I thought that was funny because we still have 11 days and still plenty of time to get great burgers all across South Florida, especially the 954. Again, 954burgermonth.com. So it was Burger Beast's, I guess, final party for this Burger Month. It was fantastic. Gilbert's, normally closed on Sundays. Gilbert's off 17th Street in Fort Lauderdale.
Have you ever been there, Perk? Have you gone to that place in Fort Lauderdale? It's been there for a while, like 10.
No, I was up that way over the weekend.
Oh, they have great
Burger
burgers,
Great
and they're a lunchbox sponsor. We love Lenore and Richie and Beth. Were they all three there?
They were all there. It was just people, like they told us, for this event. I think every table was full. Phil, Kate were there with Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. Burger Beast was holding court, and they showcased 4 different burgers, and they all were great. I will have to say my top 2 favorites, which aren't surprising. Gilbert's did their English muffin, Havarti burger.
Bacon with Havarti on the.
And then they do they paint on butter garlic on the English muffin. And the famous that has never been brought to Broward, and now I hope he does it a lot more. Burger Beast's Cruz Diablo burger was out of this world.
Even though it's a smash burger, it looked pretty darn good.
It was amazing. I was with the professor, our buddy who loves burgers, and he, like you and me, leans steakhouse burger, but also is open to a good smash burger. The combination between the different cheeses, and he has his Cruz Diablo sauce, but it wasn't overwhelming. It was like the perfect amount of heat to get the kick. and shake it up from a burger aspect, but it didn't like that wasn't all you tasted. Like you got a little bit of all of it, and it sort of came in waves. And yeah, you'll get that with nice dishes. I rarely get that with a burger, and that burger was fantastic. I understand why he talks so highly about it, and people do. It was one of the best burgers I've ever had.
And he offers that at different pop-ups around town. If you follow the Burger Beast at Burger Beast on Instagram, he always is posting where he's doing some of his pop-ups with that Cruz Diablo burger. Have you ever met the Burger Beast, Perk? He's a interesting fellow.
No. Tell me about him.
Well, he's a guy. He used to, I guess, work in a video store, but his passion is, as the name implies, burgers. But he also is into all kinds of kind of like street food, good, not fancy food.
They had a frita, and that was really nice. Cuban guys did that.
He loves croquetas. He stages different events. He's had different burger festivals around in both counties. He's had a croqueta palooza. My late friend, the chef Kevin Dreyfus, used to say he has the palate of a 6-year-old because everything that he loves is like on a bun or fried or something like that. But we love Burger Beast. He has a big following. And and he is beastly when it comes to his passion for all these things. So 954 Burger Month. You can still go online to the 954burgermonth.com website. It's held in conjunction with the VLFoodWine.com website, the food festival. No more of those mass events, but you can still get these great featured burgers around town. Just look at the heat map. Again, that's 954burgermonth.com, and Burger Month runs all month long. And, we should take our first break, but I should also mention that the food festival is not just the 1 week in January anymore. There'll be events all year long, including maybe something coming up this summer.
That I can't wait to see
something that we might be a part of. But that's going to be fun, and we might be able to announce more details pretty soon. But again, if you want to get your tickets, early bird tickets at a discount for the grand tasting, that's going to be next January on a Saturday at the Las Olas Beachfront Park there, go online to VLFoodWine.com and you'll get your early bird pricing. It's going to be a fantastic time. All right, Perk, we'll have you stick around through the break, and then we'll let you go and dismiss you. We're actually going to have another guest come on, a guy who said he wanted to say hello to you, so maybe we'll have a little crossover. That'd be one Carlos Frias, former sports scribe, former food guy, food editor, James Beard Award-winning 2 times, but I'm not too good.
Mayo loves saying that.
Carlos will be joining us hopefully at the bottom of the hour, but first let's take a break, and on the Lunchbox, we'll be back after these words. Best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right. We are back on the Lunchbox. We have Chris Perkins. We are going to let him go. I'm sure he's busy, like making nonsense calls about, I don't know, the people's weight, how many reps they're doing in these off-season work. I don't even know. I don't even. Tua. All right. And but I want to bring in real quick our second guest. Again, Defoe is out. He's still, I guess he has a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, a doctor's appointment with hopefully the doctor that'll give him the news that I don't think he's going to get, because that's not the news that actually exists with what he has, but he's hopeful.
He's living in denial. He's swimming in the river in Egypt. He's just whatever he wants to believe. Hey, look, he's getting out and about. I'm glad he was able to do his function on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday was great.
That was good. But here we got, look at him. His camera looks extra sharp. He looks extra sharp. Did I mention he's a 2-time James Beard Award winner? And I'm not jealous at all. Not at all. I've won some awards. Chris Perkins, say hello again to Carlos Frias. Did you guys work on the staff at the Sun Sentinel at the beginning and the origins way back when?
At the Palm Beach Post. At the Palm Beach Post. Dap it up right here, Chris. Dap it up right here.
I forgot. I think both of you guys have hit for like the South Florida like newspaper cycle or something like that.
We've hit for the cycle, I think, right?
No, I haven't done Herald. Yeah.
I'm thinking of Skolnick. That's right. It. Yep. But no, it's good to see everybody on board. Perkins, before I let you go, I guess I am obligated to ask you about the Dolphins, even though I don't give a crap about the Dolphins in the middle of May. It's all about the Panthers and playoffs. So just what's going on now? Is there anything that I guess Dolphins are like simmering or stewing about, or what's going on?
Well, there's the report that Tua wasn't at the voluntary workouts. Voluntary workouts started April 15th. The OTAs start today, which means they'll be out on the field. I know this is all.
But he was there. Wasn't he there today? Wasn't that the whole big thing? Is that he showed up today?
Right. So today, the big deal is that he had showed up for part of the voluntary workouts, and the team would put it on their social media. But then the report came out that Tua is working with his own quarterbacks coaches, and he has not been at the Dolphins facility full time for this off-season program. And so that kind of led to speculation. Is this contract related? Everything like that. So
here's what I want to know. Two things. Number one, is he strengthening his arm so that pass in the Paramount commercial can hit the top of the mountain so we don't have to see that again? And number two,
got a new throwing motion that we've detected from some videos that have been put out.
Oh, that's always a bad sign.
Yeah.
The new throwing motion is the come on, that's the kiss of death. Trust your skill.
How about the signing motion? What's going on with his contract? I mean, is he? I've totally not paid any attention because I really don't. I mean, I guess I do care who the quarterback of the future is, but is he the quarterback of the future? Is he getting an extension? What is his situation right now?
He is the quarterback of the future. He will get an extension. However, the question is, when does he get it, and how much is it going to be? So the deal is, he can play this season on his 5th-year option, which is basically $23 million.
Oh, poor baby.
Or they can give him an extension at any time. Now, Jared Goff of Detroit just got a 4-year, $212 million extension with $170 million guaranteed. There's a report that Tua has turned down an offer from the Dolphins. We don't know years or dollars, but they can also franchise tag Tua 3 straight years. So Tua's not going anywhere. The question is, how much is he going to be playing for, and how long is he going to be pissed off? I'm just assuming that he's pissed off because these guys have gotten their contracts and he hasn't yet, and he's supposedly not there the whole time.
That's not a good thing. Carlos Frias, if you were making only $23 million the next year, where would you go for dinner in Miami?
I would not be on this podcast right now. I'd be out having lunch. I'd be at Bouchon having lunch at Bouchon Bistro.
That's the new hot spot. Have you been to Claw yet? KLAW? Because it looks pretty good. I saw it on the Check Please show, and I'm actually intrigued. And I hear they have a pretty good happy hour. A lot of places are running happy hours now because the season has dropped off so dramatically.
I have not been there, but I know the guy that the first general manager, the guy that opened that restaurant, is the guy that's the general manager and the guy that opened J&C Oyster, who I think is now a sponsor of you guys now.
Yes, we love J&C, but again, it was Lunchbox approved. And again, I went in there on a night with my friends, the Stalkers, and we were sitting right next to Connie Ogle. She was in there the same night.
All right, and, the current Herald food editor. Yeah,
she wouldn't give me a bite of her lobster, the special risotto there that they had.
You wanted to just dip a spoon into her plate and just.
It was a big bowl, and I gave her some bites of my good.
Come on, Mike.
Tasty.
Come on,
crab
Mike.
and the red.
She didn't ask for that. She didn't ask for that.
Are you trying to barter?
We'll do a little swapping and swinging with our food.
No means no. No means no, Mike. No means no.
Let me leave you guys with 2 things. Carlos, I finally made it to Josephine's and had the fried chicken there, the Dominican place there in Miami.
What'd you think?
Excellent fried chicken. I loved it. Second thing is Dolphins and food related. I am pissed off about this on the schedule. They're at the Lions Thanksgiving night. 2 straight years I don't get to make Thanksgiving dinner because last year they played the Black Friday game in New York. And I make a good brine turkey. I spatchcocked it. I found to spatchcocking the turkey so it cooks faster.
Oh, this is a family show, Perk. Can you say that word?
No, it's a cooking term.
It's on the internet. So,
it's a very acceptable cooking term. We love our spatchcock.
I'm kidding.
So so I don't get to do my traditional South Florida Thanksgiving of turkey, stone crab, and key lime pie. So
can I get an invite next year?
When do you get back from Detroit, Perk? Like on Friday or Saturday?
They're the Packers, right? Aren't they playing the Packers Thursday night? Yeah.
Oh wait,
The Packers. I'm sorry. Did I say Detroit? It's Green
yeah.
Bay. Green Bay. I'm sorry. Green Bay.
Oh, that's
Green Bay.
even worse than Detroit for food.
Detroit
All
has
you could eat
restaurants.
is
Yes.
cheese curds or something
Right.
like that.
Right. Green
Have
Bay.
you ever
my bad.
have you
Yeah.
ever stuffed a spatchcock turkey with cheese curds? All right, I'm gonna let you go, Perk. Thank you. But one thing, I actually 2 predictions because that's what we do here with sports people. Who's gonna win the Rangers Panthers series? How many games? And who's gonna win the NBA title?
Oh, I'm gonna go Panthers in 6 on that one. Boy, the NBA is that's a tough one. I'm just gonna say Boston. Just because they better. Put it like that, because they better win it. Because if not, it's a massive failure. So I'm just gonna say Boston.
Who would you like to see win the NBA title this year? Now with the teams that are in it.
Oh man, Minnesota. Come on. I mean,
right?
That would be so fun.
Anthony Edwards, don't you want to see him holding that up and kind of just thumping his chest?
He'll talk so much crap.
You always root for the best story. That's the best story. And in hockey, the Panthers would be the best story, hoisting the Stanley Cup for the first time in history, even if Doug Sifu is one of them, and that boat parade that Vinny Viola promised down the New River in Fort Lauderdale might actually come to fruition. But I always like to see a team win a championship for the first time. So Minnesota would be great in the NBA. Panthers would be great. Chris Perkins, you're great. Here's what I'm going to do. When you get back from Green Bay, whatever day it is, if they have flights out of there on the holiday weekends or maybe go out of
6
Chicago.
a.m. on Black Friday, baby. I'm out there.
All right. Well, then I will make you a plate. I will have some leftover turkey. I'll get some stone crabs from Delaware Seafood Market for you, and we'll get some key lime pie from the pie place of your choice. Where is your favorite key lime pie? I'll first throw it to the James Beard Award winner, Carlos Frias. If you had to get a key lime pie that you're not baking yourself, where are you getting it from?
I am going to say the key lime pie. You can buy a whole pie at Blue Collar, and the pie is actually made by Billy Corbin's wife.
Yes.
And she is actually an amazing cook.
Very
She's
good
an amazing pie baker. Yeah, she really is great.
I've had that pie. That's a great pie. Blue Collar in Miami, also close to Perkins' homestead. They're moving across the street. I hear they're poised to make a move any minute. I love Danny Surfer, and I hear in the old Blue Collar is going to be replaced with a new sandwich shop, and he's been working on one of my favorite sandwiches, the ones we get at Gilbert's, the kind of Chinese roast pork sandwich on a garlic toast, a garlic like a Italian bread, also with a garlic. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and he's been working on the exterior. So, all right, props to you for the Blue Collar reference. Perkins, what's your favorite key lime pie out there?
I forgot the name of the place. What's the place? The family farm place in Davie off of Griffin Turnpike?
Yes. Tony Segretto's wife works there, and that would be Bob Ross, New River Grove.
That's it.
They have a very fine key lime pie. I also like Fireman Derek's key lime pie for a store bought. And, of course, we've got Joe Stone Crab is still worthy. And up in Broward, a place called Beach House in Pompano, unbelievably good, and it rivals Joe's Stone Crab in terms of the restaurant key lime pie division. So there you go. Looking forward to Black Friday or Thanksgiving weekend, Perk. You'll have to come on up and we will feed you well after missing Thanksgiving. All right. I appreciate your time. Class dismissed. Go follow the latest bowel movement of Tua. Now we could, going right from bowel movements to food. That's always a good transition.
Perfectly smooth transition. No puns, no further puns intended.
Oh, you are.
I am off my game today. I've been dealing with this. Do you hate that, like medical billing? I'm disputing a charge that wasn't covered by my insurer because I didn't have the proper paperwork or referral. And I spent so much time and energy on this stupid garbage, and it's become a war. And sending all these emails to all the people at billing at my health service provider. It's just so freaking maddening. The whole system makes no sense. But I'm not going to get into it. What's on your plate and your agenda, Carlos, besides trolling the Let's Eat South Florida group with articles about why pineapple on pizza is a good thing?
Listen, don't shoot the messenger. Go get mad at the Washington Post for writing a very instructive, poignant, salient article because I think that they nailed it. The pineapple pizza is an underappreciated pizza. Pineapple on pizza is underappreciated.
If I was like truly a Ranger fan all the way, which I'm not anymore, I'm just totally fair weather depending on which team is winning. But I would do the classic, like we should have a New York, South Florida pizza bet on the series. I will give you a pepperoni pizza from Heritage, our man Reno, who makes an awesome. Oh, that sopressata pizza is so good.
Was fantastic.
That was a good pizza versus one of your silly South Floridian pineapple pizzas, which is pineapple's not even a local fruit. Maybe have you ever tried mango on a pizza?
No.
That's
not right.
Well, how do you know?
No, I would try. I would not try it. I would try it. But I don't know. Just like I'm putting the flavors together in my head, and I don't know about that one, Mike. That's
all right. No, I mean you made a face like I used to make a face about pineapple.
No,
maybe
you're
there's
right.
some hidden gold there. Maybe somebody in Miami can crack. Make alchemy out of the right ingredients on a pizza with mango.
I would say the fact that we've never seen it.
Yeah, it says something.
Probably a bad.
You don't think Michael Schwartz got really high one night? You think they've already, everybody in the business who's been playing with pizza and pizza dough for the last however many years has toyed around and just have come up totally fruitless?
I think so. I think I'm going to guess that's exactly what happened because pizza lends itself to creativity while under the influence. And
yes.
And I'm sure that someone's had that feeling during mango season. And if we haven't seen it on a menu, it's because it ain't good, man. It's because it ain't good. That's my guess.
I'm not the biggest mango fan, although I'm open to any kind of experimentation. I do like mango on some of the fish. Again, the whole mango gang back in the day, you would have thought that somebody in the mango gang would have come up with some sort of good pizza. I guess I'm going to have to go reach out to Mark Militello, who is one of the guys, and Norm Van Aken. And can you name all members of the Mango Gang? Mr. James Beard Award winner 2 times.
Well, you gave me a head start because you gave me Mark Militello, who was one of the ones that I always forget because he's I think the longest without having a restaurant. Yeah. Norman Van Aken, Alan Susser.
Yeah.
Doug Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez. Yeah.
And I think that's all of them.
Robin something.
He passed away. Yeah. Robin. I can't think of his name.
You know what? And that's a shame. It just goes to show how fleeting we all are. But Robin Martinez, is that his name?
Robin Haas.
Robin Haas. Haas. Yeah.
Two A's, like the avocado.
Avocado.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, you passed that test. You get the key your James Beard Awards. I promise I'll stop. Hey, I know we owe you people out there a contest winner.
Yes,
we'll do that after the next break. But first, got some more business to attend to. And then we're going to be having a big discussion with Carlos. He's the man who says everything and anything is a sandwich. And I found a story that was in the New York Times over the weekend about tacos and how there's actually not just divergent opinions, well, literally divergent court opinions about whether a taco is or is not a sandwich. And it all gets, I guess it's based on the needs of the different restaurateurs who are trying to break leases or get exceptions to leases. And there's been 2 court cases in different states that have had completely differing opinions about whether or not a taco is a sandwich. But we'll get to that in a minute. I first have to talk about part of the big graduation festivities this weekend was inevitably going to be celebrated at Tropical Acres Steakhouse. And that's where we went on Friday night. Again, a whole big crew of us. I believe there were 8 of us. And,
nice.
You know me and my aversion to big groups out at dinner, but I had all this visiting family and I don't call her ex-mother-in-law. I mean, she's still my mother-in-law and my, all of Michelle's family, my goddaughter and niece. We went there. It was Twin Lobster night special. Again, Monday through Friday, 2 of those steamed Maine lobsters for $39 for includes a salad and a side dish. You can't beat it. It's now ongoing all summer long. It just started the day after Mother's Day. So a bunch of people at the table got the Twin Lobsters. My mother-in-law got one. I got the prime rib, and we did the half and half thing. Beautiful thing. Tonight is half-price wine night at Tropical Acres every Monday and Tuesday. You've got half half price cocktails in the bar every Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 6:30. There's so many reasons to go to Tropical Acres, and it seems like everybody is going, because on the group there was about 25 posts over the weekend about the Twin Lobsters. And again, some people are enraged to see that much love for one particular place, but if you've been in business 75 years and you keep getting it done the way they do, that's why all those love letters keep coming. Again, they're going to be open for Father's Day, so get in the reservations book now if you want. I see at the restaurant it said they're going to be open from 1 to 8 p.m. on Father's Day, June 16th, Sunday. So give them a call now, 954-989-2500. Again, Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right.
This is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It is a Tropical Acres Monday here on the Lunchbox. We appreciated Chris Perkins' time. He went along with us and probably go along with you. So sorry, Carlos Frias.
No, that's great.
After this, more Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We get into, is it a sandwich? Is it not? The hot debate. Next.
From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and daily fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Prezzo Italian Restaurants, 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, a rare home show, and I needed one. I know we were supposed to be up in Palm Beach Gardens today, in your old Palm Beach Post stomping grounds at Prezzo up there, but we had a little scheduling glitch, so we're going to be there next Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day, with our friend Eddie Pozzoli, and checking out the big happening food scene. Have you made it up to the 561 lately? And I hear that your former, I guess, colleague, friend, Liz Balsameda has just retired, right?
The great Liz Balmaceda, who's also a 2-time Pulitzer Prize winner.
Oh Jesus!
She became the the food editor there, and yeah, she was really a great mentor of mine. She's the one that got me into food writing. She's really the one that said you can tell great people stories through food, and she changed the way that writing about food is done, in that county, really. And I took all my inspiration from her when I started doing it in Miami-Dade. So I think that she really affected the way that people think about food writing.
She definitely had an influence on a lot of people, and I'm glad to wish her well in her future endeavors. And it's again, she won 2 Pulitzers, you won 2 James Beard Awards, but I hit the trifecta in the Preakness on Saturday, did. So that's something. And my poker buddy Dan actually went against his namesake and liked Seize the Gray. So he had some win money on it, and I used Seize the Gray with Mystic Dan, and I just kind of crushed everything back and forth. So that was good. So nice. I got that going for me, which is nice.
Yeah. I haven't been up there in a minute in Palm Beach, but I was really surprised and happy to read that Clay Conley, who's got the restaurant Bucan, in the town of Palm Beach, is going to open an outpost here in like right on Miracle Mile in Coral Gables.
I'm surprised he hasn't branched down there sooner, considering he got his start under Michelle Bernstein at the Great Azul at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. So he's had a couple of concepts that have opened up in Palm Beach and West Palm Beach. Grotto Italian restaurant, a sandwich shop, of course, Bucan, a place that I've never been. It's on my list, and I still am ashamed of myself. Have you've been there? You've eaten there?
Oh my God, yeah, I've eaten there several times, and
one of the best in South Florida, right?
Yeah, easily. And it's probably if I had to pick only one guy's food to eat from then on, it'd probably be his, because it's so wide ranging. Like he's got part of his restaurant, he kind of split it and started doing just Japanese food on one side, and it's incredible. And then he opened a little sandwich shop, and it's the most delicious sandwiches you've ever had.
Oh, good. The guy is talented. I've got to get up there. At Palm Beach Gardens is happening too with our friend Pushkar Marath, and his Stage restaurant is great.
Stage is so fantastic. And isn't Neven Patel? Didn't he and Neven is opening a place up in like Jupiter-ish? I want to say
he is. A lot of people are going north because there's money up there and there's good taste up there. And our friend Jeremy Ford has his Butcher's Club up at PGA National. Lindsay Autry has opened a place up at PGA National. A lot of good chefs. Hey, I'm going to a kind of a fun event tonight from a talented chef that people on the show are familiar with, because we were up there doing a show, I believe it was last week, but our friend Jimmy Everett at Driftwood in Boynton Beach. Have you been to Driftwood?
I have not. I have
really
not.
good
That
place.
Fantastic. You need to get out of
and
wow. I'm going to make a note of it right here. Okay.
Yeah,
Driftwood in Palm Beach. In Boynton Beach.
Beach. It's right on Federal Highway, and they're having a special locals dinner. They're calling it kind of for the summertime. They want to help treat their locals well, and that also goes for purveyors. He's got a couple of different of the farms and featuring produce. He's also featuring these oysters that we have that I could have sworn I was eating a West Coast oyster from British Columbia, like one of those Kushis or something, but a place is doing farm-raised oysters up in Sebastian. It's called, I think, Treasure Coast Oyster Company, and we had some on the show last week. Unbelievable. But at this dinner tonight, he's going to be featuring those oysters in one of those courses. So I'm looking forward to getting up there. It's going to be a 5-course dinner. Wow. I need that. But Jimmy Everett, so he worked at 11 Madison Park. He's a product of Boynton Beach, and his resume is outstanding. I mean, he worked at Maria, the original opening crew it was famous Michael White's Italian pasta joint on Central Park South in New York. Really talented guy. Tommy is also a very talented guy.
They're super creative. They do a lot of organic kind of things, and like farm to table, like from the land right to their table.
It's the kind of vibe that you'd like. It's not pretentious at all. It's small. Him and his wife run it. So
the food's very high, very elevated.
So let's have a bet now. If the Rangers win, you take me to Bucan, and if the Panthers win, I'll take you to Driftwood. So.
I wish I cared enough about hockey to make that bet.
All right, let's just go anyway. So let's
just go to both places. I'm okay with that.
All right, let's. I'm going to tease this audience one more time with.
We need to give a winner.
Well, let's talk sandwiches first and tacos. I mean, is a taco a sandwich or not, Carlos Frias?
For a long time, I've always said that a lot of things are more things than you think are sandwiches than you would expect. Empanadas being sandwiches, they sandwich the food on the inside. But I'm gonna do a switch on my take, and I'm gonna say that a sandwich is a taco. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm no longer gonna say a taco is a sandwich.
That's what the person in this thing kind of was trying to. The New York Times food writer based in Los Angeles, Teja Rao, also basically said the question was all wrong, because it basically is this: like restaurants, a lot of times there's these lease restrictions that you can't go into a shopping center if you sell an item that's already being sold. But basically, what happened was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, there was a shop that wanted to get into a place, but it had to sell sandwiches in order to conform. So they went to court, and a judge ruled that tacos are Mexican-style sandwiches, which kind of seems absurd because you have tortas, which are Mexican.
That is a Mexican sandwich. Yes.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
and
I
then
mean, this seems like the perfect a court in Indiana, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where 4% of the population is Hispanic, where apparently, according to census data, 0% of the population speak a language other than English at home. That sounds like the perfect venue to decide what a taco actually is.
but then you can just say, well, a taco is kind of a folded over tostada, and like isn't just a tostada an open face sandwich? So
Yes.
you could get there from here. It's a little convoluted, but I think we know that courts can sometimes come up with very convoluted and reach decisions. But the other part that this writer pointed out was that in another case in Massachusetts a few years ago, where a restaurant wanted a taco to be ruled not a sandwich so that it wouldn't violate a lease exclusivity clause in the same plaza, that a judge ruled that a taco was not a sandwich. So basically the bottom line is that no matter how you slice it or what you call it, the taco always wins. So that's basically it.
Usually the landlord, usually the person with the most money always wins. It's funny though, the place where I got my haircut for years as a kid had this barber shop on the corner, and like a couple years ago, a second barber shop opened inside the very same strip, the same. And I'm thinking, if I'm the barbershop, I'd be upset. Now you have a competing barbershop. So, and it's like one of them focuses like a lot on like black hair. So like, is that a way to kind of like split the baby, to say, well, we do different kinds of hair? And the truth is, if I'm in the mood for a taco, I'm not necessarily in the mood for like a Las Spadas type sub, or vice versa. Like those things, one will not hit the same spot as the other.
Yeah, I say just let all the food free, let it all flow freely, whatever you call it. But and I guess you for the longest time you were very strident in that anything was a sandwich if you can pick it up and eat it and it folds. And which in that case, pizza could be a sandwich because you could fold over your pizza and put like some meat in between it, and then you have a pizza sandwich.
A calzone is a sandwich, but not a pizza.
I consider that in the realm of like a kanish or a samosa.
Yeah, well, he just
or an
said
empanada.
empanada is a sandwich, and it's not a sandwich.
Empanada is a sandwich, 100%. Okay, my missing link between the sandwiches and the non-sandwiches is remember the Uncrustables, which was like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich where the edges were crimped.
Yep.
Listen, that if you toast that thing, which a lot of people do, that's an empanada. So once you've accepted the Uncrustable as a sandwich into your heart, then you have to make room for empanadas, hot dogs.
Hot dog is a sandwich.
Tacos, everything else.
Lobster roll is a sandwich. It's on a roll. It looks the same as a hot dog. It's 100%. A kind of a thing that's in a triangular thing or whatever. The wedge, it's still conjoined at the hip there. I don't even know. It makes my head hurt. I just want to eat anything and everything. I'm so glad I'm not a judge and have to rule on some of these, lease exclusivity provisions and whatnot. But all right, well there you have it. If it tastes good, eat it. That's my bottom line.
There you go.
All right, we're gonna you could stick around through the end if you want, but we do have to take one more break, and then we're gonna go to the thrilling 10 Palms horse racing contest. I don't know if you're a very busy guy today or if you just have nothing but free time on your hands.
I have a responsibility in a couple minutes, so I'm gonna have to
we're
beg
gonna-
off and
We'll
thank
let
you
let
guys
you
for
go.
having me.
We'll let you go. You're gonna miss my latest diatribe against Houston's, but actually they did something right.
I'm gonna listen back. I'm gonna listen back to
All
it.
right, that'll be at the end of the show. But
Don't do
yeah,
that.
that caused quite the stir in the Let's Eat group. But something, one of their rules that I actually agree with. But all right, Carlos Frias, always a pleasure.
Thank
Hope
you,
we can
Carlos.
see you in the flesh somewhere.
Thank you, guys.
sometime soon. And yeah, let's talk about, well, first of all, a couple of things. We got Casa D'Angelo. If you're looking for a great place to celebrate in a special occasion, be it a graduation or a retirement party, June is the season for anniversaries. And I tell you, there's no better romantic spot. If you want a table for two, go to Casa D'Angelo. They have 3 locations, all conveniently located, one in Fort Lauderdale at 1209 North Federal Highway. That's the original. It's been in business over 25 years. And then, of course, you've got the Aventura one, just south of Gulfstream Park. And then there's one in Boca Raton that's on East Palmetto Park Road. All 3 exquisite, attention to details, quality ingredients. You can't do better than Casa D'Angelo. And yeah, let's take our final break. And we'll be back finally with a contest winner and a few kind words for a change about Houston's after these words. One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to strombolispizza.com to place your order today. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and then there were 2, Lubie and me. And everybody out there has been very patient. If you're still watching, thank you.
Anyone's left.
I don't know. That's it. Well, if you win, you get an email, so you'll know about it. But
I
all right,
just found a way to get connected to Seize the Gray. We talked about the Preakness a lot, and I don't remember ever hearing that horse's name at all.
I just thought he would like a little bit of the mud track, and he's by Arrogate and Dwayne Lucas again. Root for the best story. It's crazy. And I thought the guy was 84. Somebody said he's 88. Obviously he has a whole cadre of assistant trainers that do a lot of the kind of day to day now. But the guy still climbs up on a horse, and he still knows how to get him ready for the big races. So you got to give him props. And I also got to give him some thanks because it helped pay some bills over the weekend. A trifecta. I had win place money on Mystic Dan. I had the trifecta, and my buddy Dan had some win money on Seize the Gray, and he owed me money, so I just pocketed it. It's great. So,
Nice.
anyway, here we go. So the restaurant that we were going for that has great crab cakes is Loch Bar, Loch, Loch Bar at Meisner. It's right next to Max's Grill, our friends there. And they're run by a Baltimore restaurant outfit. There's a Loch Bar that's also in Baltimore's Inner Harbor. And who ate there last week at the one in Baltimore? Our friend Joe Beja said that he actually went to the original Loch Bar and had some delicious crab cakes. And looking forward to getting Joe back in town after his 2-week stint up at the Preakness at Pimlico Racecourse, getting the food and hospitality all sorted out. I'm sure it was a great job up there. All right, so Loch Bar was the restaurant. Then we had the race at Gulfstream, which was, I believe, the 9th race, a maiden special race. This was weird. For the third week in a row, the number 7 horse has won the contest race. Different horses, but all number 7. And this one, again, was not the favorite. So it knocked a lot of people out because there were a bunch of scratches in the race. And again, this is the weird part. There was a couple of people that had Seize the Gray winning the Preakness, but they didn't have the right Gulfstream.
Oh, that sucks.
There was one person that had the second place finisher in the Gulfstream race and the second place finisher in the Preakness, but that doesn't count. The way we do it is you got to get the restaurant, and then it goes to the Gulfstream race. And only one person had the number 7 horse, Mo Go, as the winner. So even though she did not have Seize the Gray winning the Preakness, her pick, I think, was number 9. That's the tiebreaker. But she was the only one who had the key component, and that means Stacy Elias. Congratulations.
Nice. Congratulations, Stacy.
Stacy, that's a name. I don't know if she's ever won before. I know she's been a frequent competitor. Stacy Elias, congrats. You and a guest have won a brunch package for 2 at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. And I think she's a registered nurse. So we thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you.
Jim Sarney always loves the nurses and thanks them for their service. And of course, Teachers Appreciation Days are coming up all over the place because it's almost the end of the school year.
Yes.
I know that, speaking of Meisner, Kapow Restaurant at Meisner is going to be running a special teachers appreciation. They've been handing out gift cards. I know our man Eddie Pozzoli at Prezzo has been handing out lots of gift cards to some of the teachers around different schools up in the Boca area and Palm Beach Gardens area. And I'm going to start a string soon on the Let's Eat group for asking for if any restaurants are doing anything special for teachers in the upcoming weeks and months as the school year winds down. I know a couple of years that Jack Studiali at Tropical Acres had, come on in and show your pay stub and get a free entree. I don't know if he's going to do that again. He got flooded with people. But, maybe a cocktail or an appetizer. We'll see what Jack does. He's such a class individual. All right, Houston's, I guess we're out of time, but, Houston's has a million rules, many of which I disagree with, but somebody told a great story on Let's Eat about how they were at the Aventura location of Houston's, sitting at the bar by themselves, enjoying a nice quiet lunch when a couple came in, and the couple had their phone not just talking on a conversation where you hate the loud talkers when they're just talking on it, but this was beyond that, where they had a FaceTime call on speakerphone.
What?
So you got to hear and see the whole back and forth between the loud talkers, a couple apparently that were, I don't know if they were talking to a long lost relative or grandchild or what, but what happens at Houston's, they have a no chattering on your cell phone.
Nice.
And the bartender apparently has just a big card that says quiet. like a nun in a church.
That's great.
He doesn't hold it up, but he slaps it down in front of them. It just says
Oh, wow.
quiet.
Love it.
And then like they look up at him and he goes, I'm sorry, but our policy is you can't be on a speakerphone while you're in the restaurant.
Yeah, I mean,
And the couple, instead of just like saying, we'll be back in a minute, hold our spot, hold our beer, they apparently just stormed out. I don't know if it was in a huff or they just left and never came back. And that's one rule which I say,
yeah.
congratulations, Houston's. You finally got a rule right, because I am totally on board with that. Nobody likes a loud talker that is just, blasting their whole world, news and business to everybody in the restaurant around them. Have a little self-awareness. So,
Get the hell out of here. So anyways, I know we're going to be wrapping up, and we talked about where we're going to be going, a place near to our hearts, and I'm going to be going Sunday, actually. Finally going to get my parents out there. I just talked with Kevin. Is back
nice.
to the
Yes.
Southern Kitchen and Tap in Fort Lauderdale. So I want to say a word about them real quick. Kevin got right back to me. I can make my own open table things. I don't need him to do that. I know he likes us telling him, so I did. So he's like, yeah, I'll make a reservation for you. I mean, no, I know how to use open table. I just like letting him know, because they get mad at us otherwise.
The guy likes to take care of us, and he likes to take care of everybody. They really are masters of hospitality at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, 525 North Federal Highway. Thank you for the reminder. It's a great place for weekend brunch. It's also a great place for lunch and dinner. I spoke to somebody who was in there for dinner last week, and they had a great time. They had a fantastic array of dishes. And they have free parking in the garage next door. That's key to your whole experience. You don't have to go hunting around for hard-to-find spots in that neighborhood when you could just pull into that garage that's on the side street. You get 4 hours of free parking when you're on those first few levels with the signs. And then you go in there and you enjoy yourselves at Batch. They also have Wednesday Whiskey Wednesdays, all kinds of good deals and educational classes later on in the evening where you kind of feel like you're, getting an education while you're sipping your beautiful whiskeys. They also have live music Wednesday through Friday evening. And don't be deterred by the hot weather, because their outdoor deck has all these beautiful fans and misters, and you stay cool in the shade there. And of course, they have plenty of air conditioned indoor dining too. We love Batch. Go there and tell them the Lunchbox sent you. We love Delaware chicken and seafood. Don't always love Houston's, but I do love them for this rule. Love J&C Oyster. They're open Wednesdays through Sundays, the newest hotspot in Hollywood. And I think that's it. I'm finally out of ammo. Oh, I did want to thank Robert, the great owner at Royal India in Dania on Griffin Road, just down the road a little bit from Tropical Acres, very close to the Hard Rock. Also, if you're ever going to a concert there and you're in the mood for Indian cuisine, it was one of those things. I had a group of 10 last night. We wanted to do a post-graduation dinner on a Sunday night. I didn't feel like going any place that was too far away or too loud or too hectic. Called them up at 5 o'clock, table for 10, 2 or 3 hours later. They set it up beautifully.
Nice.
Places, like the food was really good. I mean, most of the kids had the teens and the youngsters had butter chicken. They love their butter chicken.
I love butter chicken. What do you want from us?
It's a gateway drug to real hardcore Indian food. Very mild. Of course, I had the lamb Rogan Josh, a little bit spicy.
Nice.
And Michelle had the lamb vindaloo, which will blow your doors off. But all kinds of good naans, the samosas. But again, the service was great. It was reasonable. And it was just, even with a table for 10, they took care of everything. And so give a shout out to Royal India there.
That sounds nice.
They've been in business for like 30 years. So
nice.
Good job by them. I appreciate it.
And tomorrow is full day, right? Tomorrow we are back
Yes.
on Bowley's, which I can now eat all their food.
Good.
So, Mike Mayo.
Yeah, no more Passover. So,
and then we're doing a special.
We're doing a happy hour edition at our friends at Even Keel on Las Olas.
Nice.
That's the newest location. Tuesday is great for happy hour because not only do they have premium $2 oysters during the happy hour time period, which I believe is 4 to 7, but on Tuesdays they have it running all night long, so you could get those great oysters all night long on a Tuesday. I'm going to be in there with Dave and Brad and talking up. They are going to be having a Sunday brunch coming up this Sunday at for Memorial Day weekend at the Las Olas location. Of course, they always have weekend brunch at the Lauderdale by the Sea location. So yeah, doubleheader tomorrow. Come on out if you're at the Fountains. Stromboli Pizza from 1 to 2, and 4:30 to 5:30 will be at Even Keel. I'll be away later in the week doing some father stuff with my daughter at Florida State, but we'll have encore editions of some great shows.
Yes.
And and then next week we'll do it all over again. We're going to have an encore on Memorial Day for Burger Day with the Burger Beast.
Yes.
And then on Tuesday we'll be at Prezzo. Wednesday we'll be at Luke's Seafood in Davie.
That place was great.
We'll be there one time, and we're going to be celebrating his first anniversary.
Nice.
And the following day at Gilbert's. So it just goes on and on. You can go on to Mike Mayo's Lunchbox Facebook page to see the full schedule. We're going to get June all set up, and we're just going to roll on along here. Thanks for sticking with us. We had a little extra bonus today, but again, when you have illustrious guests such as Chris Perkins and the two-time James Beard winner, Carlos Frias.
Put that in his name.
All right, Lubie. We hope that Defo is in one piece and hopefully on the mend. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Until then, enjoy every sandwich.